Continuing with our Patriots roster reset, we're talking cornerbacks, home of arguably the New England Patriots' best player in Stephon Gilmore, an overall very deep group. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Evan Lazar. They have got, like I said, a bunch of depth at this group and a lot of guys who have to earn their way onto the field. Who has the most to prove, in your opinion?
Well, it's tough to give a second-year player the most approved tag, but I think JaJuan Williams' whole career right now is just a little bit peculiar. The Patriots, knowing that they had this insane depth at cornerback, had all these talented players, Stephon Gilmore, J.C. Jackson, Jonathon Jones, went out in the top 50 in the second round in 2019 and drafted a cornerback. And, you look at the depth chart, you look at his position and standing right now on the depth chart, and it's hard to find snaps for JaJuan Williams. So it's not so much that he's done anything wrong, I don't think. I just am wondering, how does he fit into this equation? And do they look at it as eventually there's going to be an odd man out? We're not going to pay all of these guys. So maybe it ends up being a J.C. Jackson or Jason McCourty finally retires, or Stephon Gilmore's contract in the 2 years is up and they look to move on from him. And that's eventually when JaJuan Williams starts seeing playing time. But it's just getting to the point where they used a high draft pick on JaJuan Williams, something that was very valuable, a valuable asset, and he's not seeing the field in his first 2 seasons potentially in New England. So I'm just very curious to see how they're able to even get him an opportunity or make the most out of that asset.
And like you said, they have insane depth, and at the top of that depth chart, you have Gilmore, who's obviously reigning Defensive Player of the Year. So they have a lot of X factors, but is there one that stands out to you?
Well, I am going to go back to JaJuan Williams. I'm going to double dip on JaJuan Williams. And the biggest reason why I have now him at X Factor is I'm wondering if a move to safety is coming for him at some point, or at least a move inside to where he can cover tight ends and play a little bit more in the box and be more man-to-man against these bigger tight end, pass-catching tight ends across the league. Now, they just drafted Kyle Duggar in the second round. Maybe they feel like he's that tight end stopper for the future. But maybe JaJuan Williams with a little bit more of like a Brandon Browner type role moving forward, where he's matched up against big outside receivers, big inside receivers, tight ends, things like that, where he's a very matchup specific player, game to game, week to week game plan type of piece. Then maybe they can find some value in that asset and find a way to get him on the field.
Would you say cornerback's the deepest area of this roster?
I would say it's either between cornerback or safety. So secondary in general is an insanely deep group. Honestly, a sneaky, really deep group on this team right now, Sierra, is offensive line. They go really deep at that spot as well. But I would say cornerback is probably the most talented position group on this roster. With guys like Gilmore and J.C. and Jonathon Jones, it doesn't really get much better than that as a top 3 across the league.
Absolutely. And for more of our Patriots coverage, check it out on our website at clnsmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Patriots Press Pass.